Okay, this is a demonstration on how to use a snake pit and get the wires, tracer wires into the snake pit and terminate them there. So you would be doing this with an open trench. These, for the purposes of this demonstration, are cut wires, but they would be two continuous tracer wires that are leading down into the trench, and this is the snake pit that you're going to have as the access point once every 2 kilometres or so along the course of the actual pipeline. First of all, there is mastic tape taped onto the bottom of the snake pit. Remove it, and you'll find there's actually an instruction sheet underneath there as well. So it's put on very well. Okay, there's the mastic tape, and there's an instruction sheet which will pretty much tell you what I'm about to do. You then remove the lid of the snake pit using this. This is called a pent wrench, or pent for pentagram, because it's 5-sided nut, so not everybody can remove it. So put your wrench onto the nut and just unscrew it to a point where it won't unscrew much more. This will loosen the lid, which you can then ease out of the actual snake pit. Then you bring your wires, make sure you've got plenty of slack on these wires. You bring your wires up through the snake pit. Through the length of the snake pit. You're obviously doing this in the field, so you don't have a nice white table to do it on, but you get the drift. Make sure you've got plenty of slack on the tracer wire, and it's advisable to actually leave a coil inside the actual snake pit itself. Then you'll find that on the lid of the snake pit there are terminals. You might have multiple wires going into this, but you essentially will connect the wires into one of these terminals. They can actually be connected separately or together. In the case of this installation, where you've got one set of wires, you haven't got water or gas, they're all water, you'll connect it into the terminal. Loosen it with a flathead screwdriver. You don't have to twist the wires together. Just make sure that they've been stripped back at least 15 mil. Push them into the opening. Close it so it's nice and tight. And they won't pull off. Then you'd push this with the spare coil back inside the snake pit. The lids can be a little bit tricky to get back in. Pop it back in like this. The mastic tape that's here can be put around those wire ends, and that is advisable. This is a waterproof area, but you might have rising groundwater, so it's always good to put the mastic tape on the exposed areas of wire at those terminals. And then we just tighten our snake pit lid so it's firm, and these of course will then be planted at ground level, and then you can fill it in. It doesn't have to be concreted in. It is filled with earth or the spoil back over the top of the around the actual snake pit itself. And obviously it's important to have some sort of post or marker nearby to show where the snake pits are located.